Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Mike here, and another Mondays with Mike back in the office here, or at my home office, anyways. Since it's 8 o'clock East Coast time, and we'll let a couple people get on today. If you're checking out the channel for the first time, we come here every Monday. It might go to every second Monday. I'm not sure. Um, just to answer some questions on parts coming out, parts for your build, different questions mechanic wise relating to Hondas, Acuras. And you just leave a comment in the chat section and the group can chime in and I can go ahead and answer them. And yeah, I just figured it was a good way to get people involved and get off Facebook and stop getting fake information online. So that's why we kind of started it a couple years ago, and we get about 10 to 15, maybe 20 people a week. And yeah, it's usually good fun. We're on here for about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how many questions we have. So, yeah, and if you want to look at our website, axionperformanceparts.com, it's where you can find everything Honda related, and mainly the newer Hondas from like 2002 on up. We usually leave the older stuff to some of the older companies that have been in the game for a long time, since we kind of specialize in the newer stuff. Not that we can't source the parts, but we just have our website dedicated to the newer stuff. So, what's going on, man? Yeah, coils are definitely not fun. A lot of up and down and measuring, and yeah, different dampening and preload. It's a pain, man. Be nice if they came from the factory already set up for your ride, but then everyone has different ways they like to set the car up. So, uh, well, yeah, then they're definitely not fun because a lot of times when you have the older coilovers, they can have like a lot of road debris in them. So when you're trying to spin those collars around, they get held up. And usually, what I do before I try to adjust anything is obviously one, like clean them off. Get like a nylon brush to clean all the threads and then do some WD-40 all over the threads so the collar just spins perfect. It usually kind of helps a little bit. WD-40 is great for a lot of things. Um, and will really bring a lot of parts that are metal anyways, kind of looking back to life and not rust and work a little bit better. So always an option with the coilovers if you need to. Um, Trying to think, off to a good start here for February. So thank you for all the orders in January. It was a good month, even though we were, um, well, I was on vacation. We were still open, obviously, but um, cool. I need to get KW, AST, Motion, and PWR products on the website myself, and a bunch of other FL5 owners are wanting high-end stuff. I like to send them to you. Awesome, man. Well, if you can, Ben, just shoot me an email with whatever parts you want, and I'll have them added. I have a team that add them, but I have to kind of like orchestrate because, obviously, if it just says Type R, sometimes they'll just add them for the Type R, and they also fit the Integra Type S. So I just need to make sure they're getting put in the right zones in that. But yeah, we can get KW. I'm not sure about Motion. I can get anything PWR. I just haven't added. I don't think they have a lot of FL5 stuff. And I think I can get AST. So, but yeah, just throw it in an email. I'll get them added, whatever you want. So, yep. But yeah, busy week. We're still waiting on that Acuity shifter coming out for the new Civics and that. I don't know when it's coming. I usually just kind of wait till everyone launches these things instead of bugging them. I think maybe some new RV6 parts coming out soon. I think the FL5 intercoolers. We'll see if that even comes around. I'm going to probably pick up one for my 11th gen project. and see how it works. And I'm assuming it might be a little larger than the PRL one, so that's what I'm hoping for. I don't have any information on it yet. Let me actually go on and see if they've even added these yet for you guys. And sometimes we don't even get the emails from them when they add parts, which kind of sucks, because I would really like to be kept in the loop on all the new stuff kind of coming out. But you know, a lot of companies are busy nowadays, so yeah, it doesn't look like they've added it yet. So they're probably kind of getting finished with some testing and hopefully launch soon within the next month. I'm assuming a lot of these companies are going to want to be, you know, getting these things ready for you know, tax season coming up. It's always the big one. But yeah, we're just working away here, kind of cleaning out the inventory in the warehouse a little bit. We've got a lot of like random things kind of laying around. I'm probably going to be posting up on our Facebook to get rid of just different parts that are like open box or were returned new, or some of them are used and they told me they were new and I got them back and they were used. So hopefully some stuff, but they're more for like the 9th gen and 10th gen Civics. So um yeah, so pretty busy. We'll see who gets in here and asks some questions. And what's going on, Angie? Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the twin scroll helps. It's really just going to help spool a little bit. But then, you know, picking a properly sized turbo is going to help just as much. So I don't think it's anything you're going to notice like hands down. Um, and on the street, I don't think that's even a big deal. If you were more of a time attack car, I think you would care. Obviously, you know, you're wanting your in a time attack car, the turbo to be spooling as fast as possible. But it just depends on the setup. But yeah, good to see everyone coming back in. We got quite a few people on here. If you're brand new, go ahead and leave a comment. See what's up. Yeah, I mean, the proper thing, like Andy says, is AR and proper sizing is going to be best for, you know, displacement of the engine. Twin scroll is going to help, but it's not going to be, you know, it's not like night and day difference where you notice it. So, yep. But yeah, getting turbo stuff for the 8th gen is getting a lot harder to find. To be honest, I heard that the Type R, I heard, I'm not sure, because I've never tested it. I've heard the Type R turbo actually fits on the 9th gen Civic head with minimal modification. I'm not sure if that's true. That thing would spool so damn fast. But I would say if you ended up going with a bigger drop-in Type R turbo on a 9th gen, it would actually probably be really nice. What's up, Jerry? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, just setting up for a busy year. I'm trying to get the car, our 11th gen Civic, back here to North Carolina finally. And we actually got a new employee in the shop. So we got a dog. He's actually downstairs right now. So he's too much energy for this channel to even handle right now. So it's been enjoyable having a puppy and managing a full-time company, to say the least. It never ends. So yeah, I was working with Hasport. They were going to check into some. I know you can probably make it work, but like I think it needs modifying. Obviously, the port sizing of that to match it would totally need changed. Yeah, yeah, it's been 15 years now since I started this thing, and you know, here I am 15 years later doing it, you know, full time. So it's pretty crazy, man, to take something from literally doing, you know, 20, $30,000 a sale a month to, you know, 3 to 4 million in sales a year is pretty crazy. So, Yeah, I mean, it just depends on your spec rules for racing, obviously, displacement and what they're allowing for the class that you're going to be running in. Uh, nice. Yeah, it's amazing how many of these Honda parts are kind of interchangeable, at least with some little mods. Um, I am doing a couple more engine covers for the K20 guys. If anyone knows anyone wants custom painted ones. Um, Andy, I actually have to be talking to you about something I want to have you do again for me in the next week or so. So I'll probably message you tomorrow and message you on those. Another little batch of some goodness for the shop. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me about PWR. I was actually in Europe when I was signing up to be a dealer with them, and I needed to send them my tax thing when I got back. So I will email them back tomorrow, and I will be putting that on our website. So PWR intercooler and the radiator. So yeah, I'm going to be spending some time here. I'm trying to get freed up this week and this weekend, and I'm going to keep going through the Type R stuff and trying to see what I can get to add to the site, because obviously there's a lot of stuff that might be missing. So, um, so, yeah, we are sponsoring Wake of the Dragon, just so you guys know. We didn't know if we were going to be sponsoring or that. I hadn't heard from anyone about it, and but we are sponsoring it this year, so you will see our name on the event, which is going to be a good thing. And yeah, we have the Axion Army referral program starting. Starts tomorrow, and it's a way for people to refer people to our site and earn store credit. And it's under the Axion Army section on our website in the main menu. And you can go in there, you fill out the form. It's pretty simple how it works. And it's just ways for you to get discounts by referring people to Axion. So it's pretty cool. We're also going to have a sponsoring program coming up in the next few weeks. It won't be for everyone because it is very strict rules, but it is heavy discounts with Axion for only a select few people. And it's based off subscribers, content. You would have to sign a agreement with Axion. There's a bunch of stuff, but we'll have more information on that soon. I'm not sure if we're going to be a Tail of the Dragon this year. It just depends. We got a lot going on. I don't know if I really want to go there with an SUV because it's mainly more for a driving event. So kind of doesn't make sense to go Tail of the Dragon for us, but maybe to meet some people would be really cool, and obviously meet some of the other companies. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously the 11th gen is not going to even be anywhere close to complete, so that would not be part of it. It's about a 6.5 hour drive for us, so it's not extremely close, but it is in North Carolina. So we'll see what happens, and maybe we'll make it. I don't know. I can tell you guys right now, there is a lot of back orders still with certain parts. I can tell you the PRL conversion coupler for the Accords is still out of stock. It's due in February sometime. I haven't seen one since October. I try to bring this stuff up on the chat because a lot of people out there are they have no idea of what a back order is and how it can even exist. I had a really irate guy this week that placed an order for an intake, and we don't have it in stock. We haven't had it for a year because basically every time the manufacturer we fill stuff, by the time the shipment even gets to the States, they're sold out already. So if you've pre-ordered, you get one. If you don't, you miss out. So I pre-ordered his intake, and he wrote like a day or later asking what the status was. I said, I think we're waiting about 1 to 2 more weeks, and then it'll ship direct from HPS out to you. Let us know. And man, he was so upset. And the only reason I bring this up is one, if you guys want parts, just email the company first, regardless if it's us or someone else. I always say email the company, because if they write you back right away, they're probably a good company to deal with. If they take forever to write you back, you probably want to stay clear of that company, because they're not going to be good at responding to anything. So that's a clear indication of buying parts from someone. But yeah, I mean, it literally says on our site when you check out, please email if you need something fast to double check that it's in stock. Our website does not show any stock numbers whatsoever. Never has and never will. It's almost impossible for a small business to monitor 3,000 different parts on a website and keep them always in stock or out of stock. It just can't happen. We're not Amazon. I don't have the employees to do that kind of work every single day, to check 3,000 parts to see what's going on. We source parts from everywhere. We have them here. We source them from wholesalers. We source them from the manufacturer. It depends where the customer is. So he was just so confused that it was going to ship from HPS to him direct, which would have been faster than getting it from us anyways. So I like putting this stuff out there, because I think, having the transparency of Axion, which I've been totally all about since I started the business, I think is a big win, and letting people understand the industry and how it works a little bit more, so they know their expectations when ordering parts. I ordered wine a week ago. I haven't even emailed the company, because I really don't care. It'll show up when it shows up, and the stuff was in stock. It is what it is. Maybe after 3 weeks, I'll email them and just say, hey, like, just curious. I understand people have deadlines to meet and want their car running or whatever. But what I always say is, never ever schedule any installations, any dyno time, if your car is not running and 100% perfect. If you don't have a car running or perfect condition to dyno, do not even schedule, because number one, shit happens. Parts can be broken, parts can be misshipped, parts can get stolen. So it's just always best to have everything set up, get it installed, and get it dynoed. I don't drink any, unfortunately, I know you're all going to poo-poo me, but I really don't drink any American wine at all. I don't like the quality, unless it's a small manufacturing place. North Carolina wine's way too sweet for me. If I drink wine, it's usually French wine. It's the best wine in the entire world, followed by Italian wine and certain different European wines. Some of the Napa stuff's really good, but it has to be high end, because some of the stuff has pesticides all over it. So, but yeah. Yeah, we can talk later about wine. I'm sure my customers will probably enjoy that. No, I always, for the channel, I like talking about everything. I mean, it mainly has to be auto, because obviously that's the industry I'm in. But if people want to ask normal questions of me on here, or things I'm into besides Axion, it's more than, welcome to talk about other things. Yeah, I have a big whiskey selection. Yeah, I think I'm around 280 bottles right now, and I haven't bought whiskey for quite a while though. This stuff is going back 20 years of collecting. So, but I drink it too. I don't just, the nice thing about whiskey is when you open a bottle of whiskey, it won't go bad if it's closed. So you can have it I have bottles down there that have been open 20 years and they still taste perfect. The only problem with wine is you open it, it's got to be gone within a day or two. So yeah, I saw something about, I didn't even watch the video today. People posting in the Accord group. I know, Andy, you commented about some dude with his engine, and some issues with the Accord motor, and I got into it with a guy talking about oil change intervals on there. And man, he did not like the fact that I called out the EPA for basically telling automotive manufacturers when to change oil and wanted me to give him physical proof that the EPA actually did that, which is not going to be impossible. But there is, the EPA definitely tell the automotive manufacturers, what they can and can't do. And, scratch my back, scratch yours. Certain cars will get passed off a little easier than others. And I think definitely, if you ask my opinion, I definitely think the automotive manufacturers are telling people to not change the oil as much in their cars as they should be. Um, One, because usually around 60 to 80,000 is when the warranties are expired. And guess what? You start having issues with the car, and guess who has to fix 90% of the cars out there? The dealer. So who's going to make money? But, engines haven't significantly changed as far as, bearing material and different things like that. And I mean, some oils have gotten better, but there's always been good oil out there. I mean, for the last 20 years. If you have a turbo vehicle, 3,000 miles to 5,000 max. Everyday vehicle, 5 to 6. That would be the most I would do. So, yeah, I don't know. The guy wanted to argue with me all day about this thing. But it's in there. But yeah, I got one of the old Acuity sweatshirts. This is, I think, almost 10 years old now. So I don't even know if they make this one anymore. Yeah, well, my prediction, I mean, I've never even researched this. This is just me going off of stuff, simple things I've read. Why would the EPA would want the manufacturer to be telling customers to change it further out because it's better for the environment? Less oil changes, and then the manufacturer would want it because they usually offer a 36 to 50,000 mile warranty. If people aren't doing their oil changes to like 7 to 9,000 miles, the engine's going to have issues around 80 to 100,000 miles. At that point, there's no warranty anyways. So you're appeasing the EPA, and yet you're also, you know, Honda or whatever manufacturer is then going to say, "Oh, cool, we can replace a whole motor at 80,000 miles instead of the old 140,000." Well, yeah, but the maintenance reminders that Honda give are still at like 6, 7,000 miles. Um, I seriously don't think it's right for anyone to be waiting that long to change oil. But it depends on your climate too, and obviously if it's turbo or not. The DI motors also, are not good. So just my point. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Monday and the week's off good. I saw today Daddy Trump out there getting shit done with Canada and Mexico. I think it's a good thing. Tariffs for the country. I wanted to bring it up. It's not really a political thing. I just saw stuff online or people asking about parts today, like what's it going to impact? Personally, it's not going to impact anything. It's just a ploy to get these company or countries to actually do something. And America has a backbone, so it's a good thing. We need to have more stuff manufactured in the States. I think we need to have better trade relations with Mexico and with Canada. I think it's good for everyone. And I think that's really what it really comes down to. But both tariffs have been put on hold now, so I think it's good. So yeah, well, the Canadians need to get better at the sticky steering. But yeah, I mean, all it was is just a thing. I'll tell you right now, like we do a lot of business with K-Tuned. K-Tuned are in Toronto, and pretty much K-tuned stopped drop shipping anything to America. So, like for us, we can't now drop ship anything to a customer. I've got to order it, and it has to come to us first, which will end now because everything's ended. So, yeah, I mean, regardless of who you support, I mean, look, I mean, I've most of my family are Democrats or whatever, and I don't really consider myself either. I kind of consider myself kind of more the middle. Um, I just like to be more of the person that is, I guess, smart with stuff, and I look more at business and the health of our country more than anything. So that's what I tend to vote for. And some policies, I can't stand the amount of spending in Washington these days. It's just outrageous the programs that are getting paid for with our tax money, and hopefully the EPA will kind of take a step back here. I'm thinking. Obviously, the EV mandate has kind of been lifted somewhat. So I think it's a good thing for gasoline cars. I think you're seeing more automotive manufacturers step away from full EV. And I did see that Honda actually had the most, I think it was the most sold manual cars in America. So that's a good thing, and hopefully it'll give Honda an idea to not go the full route of these silly CVT hybrids. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I think it's a good thing for everything to be done. Obviously, it's going to impact everyone, Canadian, American, at some point. But I think for getting us back on track here and getting some things done right, we need some power back in the government because it's pretty pathetic how it's been for a long time, especially when it comes to the automotive industry, man. I mean, we have been getting hammered for years and years by the EPA. And especially if anyone that's on this channel likes modifying their cars, um, it's uh, it's a big thing to get the reprieve for 4 years right now that we have. So yeah, I don't know what I mean. Honda, it's as long as they can keep coming out with their sport line, I'll be happy. There definitely is a place for hybrids for a lot of people. You got to understand, they're not selling to people that want to modify cars. So, oh yeah, especially for you, like Jerry, going into California with your truck, like you have to have everything signed off to even drive into California with certain regulations, which is crazy. Look, I still think there's some decent stuff with the EPA. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we should be abusing everything, but I think there also has to be a way of letting people put an air intake on their car, and saying it's going to deplete the ozone layer. Yeah, I did see that Honda is looking at maybe making an EV Type R thing, which is kind of interesting. So, well, we'll see. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I'm just curious to see when we start getting to the 26, 27 year where Honda's going to go with the SI and the Type R. I mean, this HRC package stuff, even though it's way too outrageously expensive, I mean, I have kids complaining about a $400 intake. But it's good to see that Honda's still taking that type of line in with the racing parts. So I think it's fantastic. We'll see what happens. I think definitely having these special edition Hondas would be amazing to have. I mean, beyond a Type R, that's, in my opinion, is an amazing car, but they need to have a trim above a Type R because Honda should be releasing some specialty edition style Type Rs where they're not so readily made like the Type R is now. I've always loved Subaru. Well, from the BMW, I bought a Honda and built up It was a 92 Civic Hatch. And I don't know, when the Subaru came out, I was so interested in rally racing, and I just wanted an all-wheel drive car for the longest time, and I loved what Subaru was back then, because it was so different than it is now. And I just got into it, and I honestly wish I had started Axion back then, because the things I had done with the Subaru was done by nobody out there, and for a couple years anyways. So it was pretty cool. But the Honda stuff, I've kept buying Hondas, and to me, for the money you can put into them and how fast you can make them, there's nothing really better, and the longevity of them and everything. The resale value of a Honda. So yeah, I think Honda's starting to see some stuff with the Type R sales, and which is awesome. I mean, that's what we want. Um, so I think that's good. But obviously, these car manufacturers have to have a certain amount of cars that are basically EPA friendly or extremely friendly. So I get it. And look, they're trying to sell cars to the masses, which are not people out there drag racing, street racing, modifying cars. They're people that want to get from point A to point B and get good gas mileage. So, but yeah, we'll see how Honda goes. What else is going on? I'm trying to think. Let me see. I've got some notes here because I can kind of ramble and ramble for hours. So, I definitely want to keep telling people, please do check if we've got it in stock. I know it's kind of a pain, but if you guys are needing something fast, just please write an email. It's so quick. Just be like, hey, do you have this in stock? That's it. That's all I need. And I can say yes or no. So always helps. Yeah, for me, I mean, the Type R should be priced right around 45K. I think that's the perfect price. Um, I don't know, a Type R over 50. I mean, yes, it's worth it, but I don't think I would pay for one over that. Um, but I mean, it's such a nice car. I'm still working my butt off. I've got too many parts cars that I've been doing, but I really would love to get an Integra Type S at some point. Um, the only problem is I'll probably just want to modify it and go crazy like I do all my cars and then ruin it. So um, we'll see. I got to get this 11th gen back here and get working on it because it's been way too long, and I've got a lot of people waiting for us because we do want to bring out this K-swap kit for everyone, which would be cool. So yeah, I would love to see a dual injection type thing. I think that would be fantastic if they can implement something like that. So yeah, I'll see if we're going to be back on next week. Let me see. It's the day after Super Bowl. I don't know. Maybe we'll take the week off. We'll let everyone cure from a hangover. I don't know. I'm going to probably just keep this at every 2 weeks. I don't know, unless you guys tell me you want to come on every week. Most of you all come back on here. So um, I just always feel like I run out of stuff to talk about. The group's only as good as how many people come in and get active in the chat, which is cool. So, but yeah, like I said, long days for us. I'm up. Well, especially now with the dog, I'm up around 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock, and then we don't get done with this till about 8:45, 9 o'clock at night. So it's a long day, and especially to start the week with an extremely long day is never fun. I do have a lot of stuff. New PRL Type R carbon inlets are out. The physical just swap out carbon part is not in stock yet. The actual full one is in stock. Um, the carbon will fit on the FK8. It just doesn't have the coolant holding lines in the rear of the pipe. But if you wanted to do one and kind of custom do it, you can make it work. If you already have the PRL titanium kit. So I have those on the site. I've got a few Hasport 62s left in stock. So I've got FL5 Hasport mounts in stock in red, custom red kit, and some polished. I need them gone. What's up, Cars and Fish? Welcome in, welcome in. Make sure, guys, to thumbs up the channel. Not like I really care. Like I said, we haven't got monetized by YouTube. Um, I may look through all the settings and figure out why I'm not. I don't. They don't really tell you why, so um, I'll figure that out eventually. Maybe I'll get paid. I mean, we have almost 10,000 subscribers, and I've already met all the watch hours. So I don't know what's up with YouTube. So, um, but yeah, so been a good week, and I think we're gonna have a good month. We're getting into busy time now, tax time. Obviously, everyone's got their dough to spend coming up here. We got to do taxes, which is not fun for a business. So that's usually how I spend every weekend for the month of February. So, how often does an LB15 spin a bearing? Ask because I have a little knot going on. I don't know. I seldom get any, but most people aren't going to reach out to me if they spin a bearing. I would say it depends on how much horsepower you're making. Um, Obviously, the more torque, horsepower, you're going to spin them pretty quickly. I L15s, especially if they're making upwards of like 400, the 10th gen ones don't last much past 10 to 15,000 built. They usually spin a bearing really quick. It's because of the bearing material is so damn small. Um, so there's just no material in there. The 11th gen crank, if you did that with the 11th gen rods, has much more bearing material and probably would last a little bit longer over that. The only unfortunate part is the only rods that are made aftermarket are the Sains ones, and they make the least amount of horsepower additional rods that they can make. So, which kind of sucks. So, I mean, honestly, the factory bearings are completely fine. Um, I've never had a problem with the factory bearings. It's just the amount of material that is on that rod is so thin and lacking bearing material. They just, and the torque just comes on so fast on these um, little 1.5s. So, yep, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's common. Um, yeah, I mean, definitely don't want your bearing going out. I've had that happen, especially I had it happen in an M3 motor, and the M3 motor was definitely not cheap. I mean, honestly, if the bearing material's already started, it just depends on the crank. Um, you know, yeah, see the 350, you're gonna, and longevity. That's the thing is a lot of people are like, well, are my rods going to be big or not? I mean, bringing up a question about the bearing lasting, a lot of people don't even bring that up. So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to shorten the life of the engine big time. I would say if you're already having some stuff, I would try and source a guy ordered and then he ended up selling the car and just did a credit card claim. So I got stuck with the rods. I do have a set of BCs if you want a set. Just be prepared to just do rods, bearing, and the nice thing is you could, then go up a little bit more in power, but you just got to be careful with these little L15 B7s. But yeah, thanks guys for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. I'll let you guys know. We usually let you know about an hour before if we're going to be on every Monday. I still haven't made the decision whether we're going to do it every week or every other. So, like I said, if people keep coming in here and keep talking in the chat and asking questions, then it makes more information for me to talk about and more information for you guys to talk in between each other. So, yeah, I mean, the L15 transmission is actually bigger than a K series. Yeah, I mean they hold torque pretty good, and it's also how fast that torque comes on. I mean, it's insane the torque curve on a L15. But a lot of it is the DI, the head design. The manifold is the turbo is basically right on the head. It's such a super small turbo. So That's why I always keep saying that L15B7 is such a good little swap. Got chastised for doing it in our Honda Fit, and I still think if you just do bolt-on to bolt-on, the L15 will kill the K series any day. Um, you know, and I'm just talking bolt-ons for bolt-ons. So, um, L15, you're usually going to be around 65 to 7,000 RPM. It's mainly a torque motor. The K24, you're looking at like, 71, 72 is just a nice little spot to be in. But it depends on your mods, obviously, and your dyno graph and everything. All right, guys, I think I'm going to get off this week. Make sure to thumbs up. It gets the videos at least out there. We do have the RDX intercoolers in stock. If you guys know anyone that wants them for an Accord, TLX, RDX, I've got a lot of them. So definitely get those orders in. Hit me up if you guys need anything. If you want something added to the site, I think I can do right around like 440 for the rods. So just let me know. So yeah, just send me a message either on Facebook, Instagram, or you can email us at Axion sales at axionperformanceparts.com. That's super easy. I get back to everyone within 5 to 10 minutes. So like to make sure people know that they're taken care of. So, most companies, you won't get an email back to the next day if you even get one back. Good luck with that, because a lot of companies are just really bad at customer service. So one other thing I wanted to say, if you've ordered parts for us, keep an eye out for the emails coming in. I really, really like it if you guys leave a website review. We're finally getting stuff caught back up from our old site that we deleted. And thanks, Jerry. Hope you're doing well, man. And we're getting everything caught up back from our site and getting a lot of reviews finally, because we lost a lot when we ported over to our whole new system. So obviously it makes people think we're like some brand new company, So yeah, finally getting some reviews back on, because it sucks, people go on, other sites and see, reviews, and then they see a few with us and they think we're new. So anyways, I think that's it. So appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll be back. I'll probably be back next week for another Mondays with Mike, and hope to see you all there. If I can find the end stream button, there we go. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.